Recording. Now recording.
Perfect. Okay, so everybody, welcome to the call. Thank you so much for hopping on. I know today's a special day for the family. Happy Father's Day to all of you daddies who are out there. I know I saw maybe a couple of you on here, but anyways, I hope you guys had a really good day with your family. We're actually on our way to the beach right now to spend the rest of Father's Day at the beach. So it's a little loud in my car. Anyway, so sorry for that. There's my daughter, of course. Anyways, I can't wait for this call because, you know, as you guys know, it's June Boom, which is massive enrollment month. And there's a lot of incentives as to why you want to be massive in enrolling people in like big groups. Especially there's a huge incentive coming out in July from the company that nobody knows what it is yet. And it's going to be massive. And you want to have as many enrollments as possible in this month to prepare for July, for what's going to happen. So it's really exciting. Also, June Boom, you know, you get a free hotel room at Celebration. You get an extra $200. I mean, there's a lot of incentives. It's all posted in the group. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go take a look at the group. You'll see what I mean. It's so incredible. And this woman, Whitney Beer, she's going to be doing our call tonight, and she is the enrolling queen, and she always has been. You guys, there's something about her. She knows how to bring people in, and she never has a problem with that. She is so smart with this, and we have a lot to learn from her. She's already enrolled 13 people in the month of June, I think. I mean, it might even be more than that, which is amazing because it's what is it, June 18th today? So we're halfway through, and she's just been knocking it out like crazy. So I'm going to hand it over to Whitney because we have a lot to learn from her. You guys, please have your notepads ready and your pens, and just take some notes. She is so awesome. Take it over, girlfriend.
Okay, thanks, Jess. So this call has a 40-minute window, so I just want to make sure that I kind of get all of the information I can. Some of it is probably things you've already heard before, but maybe now you might take more seriously, or maybe it's new. At the end, I'll try and save some time so that we can do some questions, because really I want you guys to get as much from this as you can. So I don't want to be talking the whole time. I kind of want to help you guys each personally as well. So basically a little bit of background about me. I kind of wanted me to start off with that. So I didn't even really know what network marketing was at all when I first started Isagenix. I didn't start it for the business at all. I had a baby, and then I lost her 19 days later, and I gained like 70 pounds in my pregnancy. And it was just a really hard time for everyone in my family. And no matter what I was doing, I just couldn't seem to lose the weight. So I turned to my friend Jessica Jade for some of the stuff she was doing. I heard a lot of good things about it. So I was a little bit hesitant at first, like everyone was, but then I jumped on board, and I'm so happy that I did. I wanted nothing to do with it. I accidentally like to sell it. I love the products. I couldn't afford it at first. I was nervous. It was a lot for me to cough up as well. Even my second month, like I accidentally let my auto ship go through. I wasn't even sure if I was going to order 100 BV. Like, it's just crazy how it all just kind of fell into place. And then I just kind of shared my story. And ever since then, I've just been helping people, and I've been loving it. And it's been the financial freedom it's done for me and my family is just huge. Like, at that point in our lives, we didn't even know what we were going to do for Christmas presents. We had no idea. And then ever since Isagenix came, we were able to buy new vehicles, and we were able to pay for a new house. And there's so many things that take vacation. There's so many things that we're able to do now. So I just kind of want to help my team with the same thing, and all of you guys. So really it all starts out with enrolling people, and that's kind of the first step into your business. You want to enroll them, and then of course there's coaching them and helping them. But the first step is really to get people on your team. So I'm just going to kind of jump right into that. So the first thing you want to do is be very consistent on your Facebook. You want to build curiosity. You don't want to say the name Isagenix all over your Facebook, and you want to be consistent with it. And by that I mean, even when Holly says to people, don't be negative. And I used to share things all the time on Facebook, any negative things, anything ever. All these funny videos, my whole wall was just sharing things. And that just looks messy and that's just crazy. And really it did nothing for me. So why would I even bother doing it? Do you know what I mean? So I stopped sharing things. I stopped posting negative things. I try and be consistent with the rule of not only posting about Isagenix, but also your family, because if all you do is post about Isagenix and people might think they're not interested, they might unfollow you if they don't see things that are going to draw them in. So post fun recipes, post about your day, post about something that people are going to want to actually read and actually be interested in. So that's kind of the first step, is just having like a good, consistent Facebook. I would follow some leaders and kind of mimic that a little bit, even how people have their filters always similar. And even in terms of the Isagenix posts themselves, it's great to have long posts now and then about what's in our shakes, but it doesn't always need to be like that. Even as sometimes people just scroll by because they don't want to read it. Even if it's a simple selfie with you with a shaker cup and saying how much energy you have, that really does help a lot of people in drawing them in. So that's kind of the first step. The second step is they are going to reach out to you. So I don't know what everyone does, but me personally, I don't reach out to anybody first. I just want to build the curiosity and I want to create that relationship of them coming to me. That way, if I follow up with them 10 times, I don't feel as bad about annoying them because they asked me. I didn't ask them. So when they reach out to you, you always want to start off by making it about them. And in the beginning, I did a lot of mistakes that I wish I didn't make. Like I would send these long, they'd say, what are you doing? And I just send like a paragraph this long about, oh, it's this soup, like just keep going and going. And really people just start reading it and then they don't even want to finish reading it. And then that really pushes people away. I really break it down deeper now. And you guys probably see a lot of this in Team Moby and stuff, how they give examples, but really it's all about making it about them. You say, well, I'd love to help you. Like what are your goals? Like, are you looking for energy? Are you looking for weight loss, performance? Like what are you looking for? And I say, I just want to know because I want to make sure that I recommend the best package for you. So then they tell me what their goals are and we talk about timeframes they're looking to reach them. And then I usually talk about the pack that I think is best for them. And I usually try and recommend 2, which would be depending if they're looking for weight loss or energy. It's normally always, I mean, you guys know that, the 30-day system or the premium or the value pack, depending on what their budget is. Because as we keep talking, I try and break it down with them. I say, what do you normally eat? And I mean, I know you guys probably get a lot of negative feedback about asking these questions because some people say, oh, I don't eat in the morning. And right there, I throw some facts about how it's not good for you to not eat in the morning. You need to be putting these nutrients in your body first thing when you wake up. Or they say, those cost is irrelevant for what I eat during the day because I still make food for my husband and children. Well, you're still feeding yourself as well. And you still want to make sure that you get the proper nutrients. Like there's so many different ways that I've learned to confront all of those different negative aspects that people say. And it's really just a matter of kind of learning those and understanding them, that everyone's going to have something negative to say when they say about price. But you need to just come back with them and just understand how important the nutrients are going to be for their body. And that even though they make supper for their family, they're also eating themselves regardless. And really it's just an investment in themselves. So really just make it about them, break down the costs. And then when they reach out to me, I'm like 99.9% of the time, I'm not enrolling them right then. And that is completely fine. I have a book with every single person who even if we might exchange like 2 words, if they don't even answer my message, but they initially message me, I write them down. And the power is really in the follow-up, and people aren't joking when they say that. So that is where I get all of my enrolls from, pretty much, is following up with them. So one thing is key when I do my follow-ups is when you open your messages, all you see is this little part at first. That's all they're going to see. And that's when they decide if they want to open up your message or if they think you're crazy and they're just going to keep scrolling through. So I want to make that first part eye-catching, and I want to make them think that I'm actually talking to them as a person and that I'm excited. Like start off with their name and say, oh my God, like guess what? Something that's going to draw them in to open it, because if they open it, there's a higher chance that they're going to respond because they don't want to look rude by not answering you. Yeah, Holly, fortune is in the follow-up. It literally is. Like, I'm not even joking you. So a lot of people tell me though, I mean, there's so many ways for people to follow up with. I can go on forever about different ways of following up with people, but you just want to make it seem excited. You want to scroll through the messages that you talked about before, say, I know this was your goal. How did you reach it? How are you doing? And don't tell them about the promotion in the first message. You want to say, if you want to learn, like if you, like when you're talking about it, you want to ask them if they want to know more, because then you know that they're interested. And if I look back, if I followed up with them like 5 times and they haven't answered me, then I'll just throw in there, listen, like, I'm not here to bother anybody. I'm not here. Like, that's not what I'm doing. I'm here to help people and help people save money. And if you aren't interested anymore, like, that is no hard feelings. I'll just take you off my list. Like, I'm not trying to bother you. And then that's when you really find out. I've done that to people. And then they say, oh no, you're absolutely right. I'm sorry. Like, I've just been busy. It's a hard time for me. Please keep letting me know, because eventually I do want to sign up. And that was huge for me, because before I would just say, oh, they're not answering me. Like, this is embarrassing. And I'm just never talking to them again. Like, that's what I did before. And it's not really the right way to do it, because most of the time I could follow up with people and it's all just blue messages and I look like a psycho person. I'm like, if someone shows them these messages, like, that's embarrassing to tell me. But then eventually they just say, you know what? No, like, please just let me know. So that's been huge for me as well. But really the most important part, people say, okay, great, following up with people is awesome. But if you have no one to follow up with, then like, what's so great about a follow-up, right? And yes, Jessica said, I was really great at enrolling people. And I still enroll a lot of people, but there's times where I thought, okay, there's no one else. There's so many people who sell Isagenix now or share their experience. Like, they're just going to go to someone else, and you have all these hard times. And trust me, every single person goes through it. And I would talk to Jess Atchade or Jess Wiltshire or Holly, and I'll say, okay, like, I don't know what else to do. Like, there's no one else. No one on my Facebook's interested. No one's really liking my posts anymore. Like, that's it. And I really got a huge, like, awakening when I realized, like, that is so not true. Like, there's so many different things I could be doing. I didn't want to add people on Facebook. I didn't want to be that weird person who was like adding people that they may know. But really, I made so many new friends that way. And I expanded my network, and expanding your network is the key to enrolling people, like second year follow-ups. But that's what people are going to start watching your social media. They're going to really tap into you. And then that's how all those 13 people I've enrolled this month, I maybe talked to like one person, a couple people like a year ago, and most of them have been recent people that I've expanded my network and have been maybe moms or people who are into traveling. So what I do with that is I add people on Facebook. I go into groups. Groups are huge. Any kind of hobbies you have, everyone has hobbies. Everyone has something they like. And there's a group on Facebook for anything, whether you like cats, whether you like to garden, anything. I'm starting to garden, and I was like, oh, I should probably add myself into gardening groups. And I did that. And then I made friends from the gardening groups. Like, it's simple as that. And as you expand your friend list, make sure the person is normal if you're nervous about that. But as you expand your friend list, people are going to see that, and they're going to continue. And those are new people who haven't seen your post before, and they don't think you're annoying. Well, I mean, not many people will, but they're going to want to know. And then that's how you expand your follow-up list. And it really is just as simple as expanding it, because that was key to me continuously being consistent with my enrollments, because there was months where I didn't enroll anyone and I was like, there's no one left. And then it just kind of comes in a wave when you get all these new friends, and it's maybe the 10th time that they've seen your post. So really, I tried to make that sort of quick, and I might have made it too quick, but those are some of the key points that I try and follow by, and I try and tell to my team, specific to enrolling people. So I don't know if anyone has any questions. I could go over some other stuff, but I really want to kind of tap into your guys' brains and hear if you guys have any questions for me of maybe situations of what I would do. I know when I do some team calls with my team, we try and keep it more of a conversation so that I'm not just kind of blabbing the whole time. So does anyone have anything that I can help them with in terms of?
Well, I have a question, Whitney. I have a question for you. I know in the chat also, Christine has a question in the chat if you look there afterwards. And there's a couple of questions coming through, but really quick, I have one for you. So when you talk to these people, how do you overcome like the objection with money? Or do you even get that objection? Do you ever have that issue when they're like, that's too expensive? Or you know what I mean? Like, what do you do for that?
Yeah, so I get that objection all the time. So I try and to avoid that objection, I initially I break it down. So the first conversation, what's your goals? They tell me their goals. And then I try and say, okay, great. So what I'd recommend is that you would have 2 of our superfood shakes a day. You'll also have 2 snacks, 100 and 200 calories. They can really be anything. It can be a salad. Have your healthy meal and have the other vitamins that come on our program. And then I say, okay, so if you would have 2 shakes a day, like what time of the day would you want those at? Would you want them for breakfast and lunch, breakfast and supper? And then they tell me, and I mean, this is also in a file in all the groups, but that's really what I follow. And then I still get sometimes I get price objections. And when I'm approached with those, I just say, I talk about the quality of our products. I talk about how that might be a price objection for them now. But I mean, I will let them know, we just kind of chat about what they're spending now and what they'll be getting out of it. And of course, you're going to have price objections. And then that kind of stops the conversation. It doesn't stop the conversation, but they just kind of wean off of it. And then they continuously watch me. And they're watching me and they're watching the groups that I'm adding them in. And then eventually when I follow up with them, that same person who had the price objection now wants to order. And I find I get less price objections now that I break it down for people, because people say to me, wow, I never thought of it that way. I never really thought like how much I'm spending every single day at the market for lunch and how that's just going to be replaced now. And that's even how some people that I work with, they say, so one girl said to me, it's so expensive. And I told her, I'm like, well, don't you go to the market every day for lunch? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, how much do you spend? She's like, $12 probably minimum, not including my coffee. And I just say, yeah, well, you will spend less than that a day. Do you know what I mean? So for 2 meals. So it's simple as breaking it down. And then again, not being negative when they tell you it's expensive. Don't agree with them, because it's not. We don't want to agree with them that it's expensive, but we want to know that we understand that they might not be able to afford it right now, but we will definitely keep them in mind, and we will definitely help them to try and get it to the best price. I normally don't try and wean away from the 30-day system, because I don't find the other systems are as helpful. And well, they're helpful, but they'll get the best bang for their buck for the 30-day system. So I mean, I hope that kind of answered your question.
No, it would totally did. You went over a lot of good points, and I love this last one that you said too, where you like don't agree with them about it being expensive, but you are understanding of them, because like it's so important to not be like, rude to be like, it's not expensive, and like kind of tell them why. It's like, it feels so much better to be like, I get it. Like, I know, like when I first started, I felt the same way.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah. And like, because I felt the same way in the beginning. So it's so important to like, be on their level, take it back down and be like, I get it, girl, but like, this is so valuable and blah, blah, blah. And they're going to feel so much more supported and trustworthy of you when you are genuine like that. And all I'm hearing from you is like tons and tons of confidence. And I think that plays a lot of it too.
You're like going
you're
slow motion for me.
Confident in what you're talking about and what you're saying to people, so they like well, I'll stop talking. There's more questions in the chat. Do you see
them? Yeah. So Christine, I may be getting ahead of myself with this question, but after your batch enrollment, how do you manage your time to support them and continue with your IPAs? Thanks, by the way. Thanks. That's actually something that I used to struggle with a lot, and Holly and Jess kind of kicked me in the ass for it, because I would enroll all these people, and then I would get so confused of who I followed up with and who I didn't, and making sure that I'm cleanse coaching them. And this past couple times, I've just been asking if I felt that I wasn't able to support them properly, if I thought, okay, today's gonna be a busy day, but I know that I need to follow up with this person, I'll ask Jessica or somebody to help me. I'll ask my enrolling sponsors, this is the help that I need. And really that's important. Like, they want to help you, right? Because they help their team, it helps them. And no, we don't want to let anyone go be forgotten. So that's been huge for me. It's just kind of owning it and knowing when I need help and just asking for it. Other than that, I just try and write all the names down. And I know the days that I want to follow up with them. Lori's probably watching this saying, get IsaTools, they'll do it for you. But I usually handwrite everything and just try and make sure that I'm following up with it that way. So I hope that answered your question. Becky, do you keep track of the people you add to the Dream Bigger? I try and add everyone I talk to, and then I write down the people that I talk to. So that's kind of how I keep track of it. Oh, thanks, Holly. Oh, to Facebook. No, I don't keep track of people I add to Facebook because I'm not adding them to reach out to them. I'm adding them for them to watch me. So, I mean, if they don't want to reach out to me, that's fine. If that's completely okay. But if they do, then now they have an opportunity to. Is IsaTools, okay. Does anyone else, can I help anybody else with any questions? I hope that I was useful today with some information. I kind of tried to blurt it all out. Is IsaTools useful? Yes, IsaTools is very useful. I slacked and just got it, so I'm still kind of learning it, but Lori's about to pop in here and probably say, you can't not have it. Lori's trying to unmute her screen right now.
Yes, I am. How did you know? I love IsaTools. I got it about 3 or 4 months ago. It helps me track everybody that I've spoken to. It helps me track every conversation I've had with them. When people sign up, it provides to me both a way to customize my own emails to send out to them, as well as a 30-day system kind of drip that gets them an email on a regular basis. It also provides so much collateral that we can share with new potential customers. And by collateral, I mean all the marketing tools, tons of videos, when people ask on, in Rocking Cleansers or whatever it's called now, sorry, Jessica. But when somebody asks for the Belly Buster, I can go right in my IsaTools and find Belly Busters in like 2 minutes, right? So I just find it to be really, really useful for me to contact, especially when I use IsaTools a lot is when there's going to be a call for all the people that you've contacted before, and maybe they're following you, but they've had some questions and you want to get them on a call when one of, like Jessica or somebody has one of those big calls explaining the system. I can send out emails plus reminder emails in a group, but it customizes it and it inserts each person's individual name as though you were speaking only to them. But I could send like 13, 14 emails all at the same time. Anyway.
Laura, you're going to have to teach me how to use this better because I'm not IsaTools savvy.
Oh, I got your back.
Okay, good. We'll have another call this week about IsaTools. Thanks for that, Laura.
Maybe you can do the next Zoom call and train all of us on IsaTools.
Yeah,
that would be helpful.
Does anyone else have any questions that I can help people with? Don't be shy. I want to hear them.
I just want to say something because I know Whitney, we've been in it, and we've been in this whole business side for over a year. Like, you've had kids. I'm on my third. Just crazy. Jessica, you had a baby last year, and I just want to kind of give my feedback, saying if your business goes up and then goes down and goes up and goes down, just remind yourself that sometimes it's just to be consistent with the follow up. Because sometimes when you get a high, after that you get a low. And it's just like any business, you just really have to always keep working the same amount of hours or the same amount of chats per day, per week, to always have that constant flow. Because for me, I went from executive to nothing. I went from Vegas to, being pregnant. And I just kind of want to say, like, if you guys hit a rank and go back down, it's okay. The odds are most of us has or keep having to build the business. It's not like once you reach, it's done, ever. So just keep working at it, and don't give up, and don't lose faith ever, and stay active regardless. Because I'm hitting 2-star this week because I stayed active. I just want to say good job to Whit. Good job to everyone. Like, you guys are all on fire. I'm so proud. It's so nice.
Yeah, and honestly, that's so true. Like, there's been times like where I am so high that I could like almost like hit another rank, and then when my business hits a down, it's when really I'm not doing as much. I'm not helping my team as much, or I'm not putting my effort into it. And that's when I hit my lows. But I kind of want to just touch base on these questions first before, in case it ends. So Joanne, hi Whit, do you have a system you follow when you get new people started, a coaching guide? Joanne, you should be showing your face and asking me this question. When I enroll people, so I just kind of do welcome calls.
I'm driving.
Hi, Joanne.
Hi, I'm driving. Sorry.
I'm just messing with you.
You love me.
I do love you. I just do the welcome calls, the welcome emails. I make sure that I walk them through everything that they're about to do, and just really make sure that I'm there for them and helping them, cleanse coaching them. I make sure that every week I'm following up with them. I make sure that at certain times for certain people, I am telling them about the rebate system. I just I've always followed the same routine, but it's kind of the same as everybody, I'm assuming, but I'm trying to be more strong with my welcome emails, because that was something that I was not the best at. I was good at welcome calls, but not as much welcome emails. So I'm starting to do that, because as you do things, your team does the same thing, and that's what you want. Hope that answered your question. Another question, Whitney, where do you get your Facebook post ideas? I get them. I follow all of so when I was in the top 10, I'm like one of the top 10 income earners for age 18 to 25. And as soon as I seen my names get up there, I didn't even know these things existed. I followed, we have 10 minutes left. I followed every single person who was in that rank with me, so I could see what they were doing. And I specifically followed ones who were above me. And what you want to do is kind of follow people who are successful. So anyone, even on Team Mobi, there's so many successful people. There's so many good people who have great posts. And it's important to not really copy them, just kind of get some ideas. And what I do is I save them all in my notes. So if I see a post I like, and then if it's a random day and I say, okay, I need a post today, I'll go through my notes and pick a post that kind of would adequately represent a picture I'm using. And that's kind of what I do. So I just kind of try and follow leaders. So I hope that answered your question. Don't text and drive, Joanne. Okay, I like you. Great. So any other questions, guys? We have 9 minutes left, so I'd love to help anyone.
I don't have a question, but I guess when people are starting to think right now about questions, I'll talk really quick about what you were just saying about Facebook. Absolutely, that's like the best tip that you just gave, is to follow other people in the industry and mimic them. Like, don't copy them and be like one of those followers. Like, get ideas from other people, and if you like it, keep it and make it your own, right? Like, that's how we do this. It's like, that's how we all learn in this kind of industry, you guys. So it's so important. You guys should be friends with everybody in this team, loving on each other's posts and each other, like, even tips. If like someone's post is like not great, like, even just, hey, do you mind if I give you some tips? Like, we're all here together and we're trying to raise each other up, right? So like, let's help each other. Anyway, I love that tip. And another thing about Facebook is like what everyone's been saying is being consistent, showing up to work. Like, guys have jobs. A lot of you have jobs, so maybe you might not, I don't know. But like, when you go to work, you walk into the office, you check in, You never clock into your office. You go sit at your desk or whatever your job looks like. But what does that mean? That means you're showing up to your job. So just use the same thing as Facebook. You're going in and you're checking in your job. Like you're clocking in every single day. And you're being consistent with it. That's part of what you do. That's why that's what works, right? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm cutting out, you guys. I have terrible service. All right, bye.
Does anyone else have any questions I can help them with?
Hey, Whit, it's Lori. I have another question.
Yes.
So I'm starting to get a lot of friends in the UK. How do I know specifically what products are available? And when we get a coupon, does it work for a UK order or only the Canadian order?
So, I mean, Joanne's probably sitting here thinking about everything that she wants to answer because she knows a lot about this. I don't know a lot about the UK personally. I don't really know anyone there. I'm trying to educate myself a little bit more. But I think that there's actual product lists for the UK that you can look up. Someone can jump in if I'm not being right here. But
Hey, Whit.
yeah, Joanne.
Hey, it's Joanne. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
If you want, I'll post some stuff in there and tag you in it, Lori. I haven't looked at it in a couple of weeks, but I was pretty familiar with it there at one point. So I'll get some links and I'll start a post in the group and then get you some information.
Okay, thank you. And Sarah Hall just wrote, type in Isagenix UK products into Google, and it comes up with a list of prices. So even with the UK, if you have friends in the UK, I mean, I normally don't reach out to people, but that might be someone that I might reach out to if I thought that they would be fitting. That's just my opinion, but I mean, that's completely up to you.
So would the Canadian discounts and coupons be available in the UK? I think that's important. And do we put people in the UK in the dream big lifestyle thing? Because if the products aren't available to them in the UK, is there a group that we would put them that's more UK focused?
No, I think that they would still go in that group, and then just kind of tell them that since it's so new in the UK, that product might not be available to them, but it could be soon.
Okay.
And you know what I mean? And then if they have, then they'll know about the different products, and if they have friends in Canada and they enroll, then they'll know that those products are available to those people too. You know what I mean? I don't think that someone should be excluded from a group that really helps a lot of people actually want to enroll. So yeah, I would suggest for sure keeping them. But
Okay.
Also, Christine just posted some links in the comments. And do you approach men differently than women? Yeah, and this is something that I've had to learn a little bit from Holly because I didn't before. And I'm sure a lot of us can say that it's hard getting some guys to like trust us on superfood programs, really. But recently I've had like a guy join my team, and I've just kind of had to rework some of the ways that I talk to him and some of the products that I recommend for him and some of the ways to get him to market people. And again, one thing that I really helped, what I told him to do is I sent him a list of guys to follow on Facebook who are successful. And that was my first thing once he enrolled, was me and Jess Atshade. I got on a 3-way call with her and him, and we sent him those names. We said, follow these people, and let me know when you want to post, and we'll kind of help you. So I do kind of similar, but a little bit different because they you can be more real with them. Like, you don't have to worry about hurting their feelings, if that's a terrible thing to say. Great question by Shan. I think you missed it, Whit. People ask what you do. How do you open the conversation? Oh, that one's a hard one. It depends who it is, really. I usually just say that I do network marketing for a company that I fell in love with, and just kind of give them a little bit of my story about how, because some people get scared of it, and just say how it's something that I never intended on doing right away. But once I fell in love with the products, it just kind of came easy. And then I just talk about what it's done for me. And that's how kind of what I do at work when people ask me about it, or if people on Facebook message me and say, do you want to sell these products? No, sorry, I already I'm in the network marketing. And then that's kind of opens up the conversation as well. And I hope that kind of answered your question. Becky, when I go on Facebook, is it cut off scrolling, use this post? Do you block your time on Facebook? Becky, I try and just kind of, she just kind of wants to know if I like time certain things. I have certain times of the day where I go on Facebook and the first thing I do is I go to my messenger and I make sure that I follow up with my team and everything. And that's what I focus on first. And then I go and you want to be interacting with people because they'll interact with you. You want to comment on their posts, even if you don't know them. And then that's kind of secondary to me right now. I just kind of focus on my team first. And then with the spare time I have, I do the commenting and liking. So I don't like have an hour for commenting and have an hour for liking. I just kind of do it all together and figure out what's more important for that time. Do you talk to people by message or try to meet them in person or get them on the phone? Yeah, there's less than a minute left. So what I try and do is I talk to them on Facebook first. If I can get them on the phone, I do. Some people aren't comfortable with it, so I just try and stick to messaging. I'm in St. John, so it's hard for me to meet a lot of people because most of my following is in Moncton or other cities. But really, it's just kind of, I do a lot of Facebook messaging and a lot of voice clips. So I hope that kind of helps. Yeah, I'm all about the voice clips, Nicole. Okay, guys. Well, if anyone needs any other help or has any questions, don't hesitate to message me on Facebook. And I hope that this wasn't useless. I hope that I kind of helped some of you guys. So thanks for coming on. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Whit. I can't type. You're awesome. I learned so much from you. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm glad I could help. I'm just kind of waiting for it to run out at this point.
How do I mute myself back here? Okay.
Bye, guys. Thank you.